G'day guys, how you going? It's Tim again. I was doing another tutorial for you. This one's on how to create a list with the check items in the front of it. I was actually asked today what plugin I used for this, and I didn't actually use a plugin. I did it all in HTML and CSS because, well, before I did this tutorial, I thought I'll go and see if there is a plugin, and that way I can just let you know where to find the plugin. And I'm not saying there isn't one out there, but if there is, it wasn't easy to find. So it's probably just as easy to do this. Now, please don't freak out about having to muck around in the code, because it's not that big an issue. If you follow the steps that I give you here, it's actually quite a simple task. Alright, a couple of things I want to cover before we do this is that you need to have the images. Okay, so you can upload these images to your own server, but you need to have them, otherwise this isn't going to work. Okay, so if you don't have any images that you can use, you can find them on the internet for free, or you can actually buy them. If you buy them, you get some very nice ones like this down here. It's a very sexy check mark. And you get some really nice ones that you buy. I think I actually created these myself. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while. I did these in Illustrator from memory. So if you can't find decent looking free images and you don't have the money to buy them, just contact me in the Skype room and let me know, and I'll actually upload these ones to you. The other thing you want to make sure is that the image itself is about 12 pixels by 12 pixels. If you can go up to 16 by 16, but which is I think what these ones are. On the demo site, I'll show you in a moment. They're actually they're not they're not 16 by 16. They're 12 by 12, and you'll see why that's more ideal, I think. So here, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the test site. And you remember that this is the one we used for Tribe Pro when I did the Tribe Pro demo. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what happens when you put a list in without having the CSS to style it properly. So come over here to WordPress. Okay. Go on all posts, or you could have just clicked Add New. We just want to add a new post. So we'll go list test, okay, and you'll notice that yours, when you come over, will be on the visual tab open. What you want to use is the HTML. The reason I say this is because we have to add some stuff to it. Alright, so it's just easy to do it all in the HTML. So click on that tab. Now what we want to do is we want to put a list into the post. Okay, we're going to use an unordered list, which will give us a series of dots. The difference between that and OL is an ordered list gives you numbers. So each item is numbered 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Okay, the other thing you'll notice is as soon as I click on that, the button changes and it has a / in front of it. That means it's now become the button for a closing tag. So that's the opening tag there. That's the opening UL tag. So what we're going to do is we're going to close that now. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we want to come to the end of the opening tag and press enter to create a space in between them. This is where we're going to add our list items. Just the same as it was with the UL, the LI will do exactly the same thing. So click it once, opens, click it twice, closes. So we'll do that 1, 2, 1, 2. So we've got 3 list items. Okay, so let's give them some names. So got item 1, Control C, Control V, 2, Control V, 3. Okay, so list item 1, 2, and 3. Now all we need to do is click Publish. Okay, and if we go to the test site and we click or press on F5, you'll notice that there's a new post with a list in it, with the boring old circles. Now, I like to do what I'm doing here because to me, it's just one of those little things that helps a website to stand out just a little bit more. If you aren't styling your lists and those sorts of things, it's something you really should look into, because it helps to set it apart, until of course everyone's styling their lists. But at least we've got nice looking websites when we do that. But what you will stand apart from a lot of people by giving it this little extra bit of flair, this little extra loving touch, if you like. People talk about when they're cooking, particularly when they're baking cakes and that sort of thing. You know, it's the love that goes into it, and it's the same thing with a website. I think you know, if you respect it and you treat it properly, it'll treat you well as well. Okay, I know it's a bit philosophical for this time of the morning, but you know, what can I say? So what we'll do is we'll go back to the WordPress back end, and what we want to do is we want to put in here a class. So we'll click in behind the UL but still inside the tag. Okay, we've got space, class equals, and then 2 inverted commas. That's the same as what we did for the TriPro tutorial, if you remember that. We've just created a class that we can use to style this list, okay, and any other list we give this class to. Alright, so here's what we do. We put in article list checked. Now I'm calling it article list checked using camel case. Camel case is the first word is all lowercase, the second word it starts with a capital, and each subsequent word starts with a capital. That's what we call camel case in the industry. I've called it article list checked because it's got a check. Now you might be doing this and getting a bit more complex, and you might be having ticks and crosses. So you might have 2 different lists in your article. One says yes we do this, and the other one says no we don't do this, or yes you get this and no you don't get this. Then what you'd want to do is you want to make it semantic. You want to make it something you can see straight away what it means. So you go article list yes, article list no. They're just a couple of examples. Give it a name that you understand what it means. Okay, now what we're going to do is we've got to come over here and click update. Alright, but you'll notice if we go to the test site, let's go there and go F5, absolutely nothing has happened to our list. See? It's still just the boring old circles. Okay? That's because we haven't given it the CSS style yet. Now before we do that, we want to come to the media library. Okay? You want to, if you haven't added it already, you want to add new. If you have added it, then just go to the library and you can find it there. I'm going to show you using a different image, what happens when this when you choose select new, add new. Okay, so come to the upload new media section. You want to go select files, go to your website. Go to your computer and find the image that you want. Okay, so for example here, let's just say I want to put in this one will do. Okay, so I've just uploaded an old logo. Okay, you notice it's got a title. You can put in an alternate text. Right. What you really need to do is you need to make sure that you've copied your path down here. Alright, this isn't the image I want to put in, so I'll just click Save All Changes. You'll need to do that for it to still be there. I actually want this one here, the check mark. Okay, you'll notice it says in the alternate text, check mark for list item. Okay, what I'm really interested in here is down here is the file URL. Okay, I want to find this URL here because that is the URL to the image. Now I'm going to control C. If you're on a Mac, you can go Command C, or you can just go right click and copy. Okay, I'm going to go into a text document which is off the screen, so you won't be able to see it. So if you open Notepad or something like that, just copy it into there. Okay. The reason I say that you need to copy that is because you're going to actually copy something else in a moment. We're going to come back to our post. Right? So you don't need to press update media, but you can if you like. It's not going to make any difference. Come back to the posts, go to list test. Okay, now if you just double click on the article list checked, that'll select everything inside the inverted commas. That's what you want. You don't want the inverted commas. If you go Control C or Command C on a Mac, or just go copy, you will actually get that into your clipboard. Now, here's where it gets a little bit tricky. If you don't have the flexibility theme, you need to come to Editor, and you need to be looking for style.css. Okay, if that isn't open, come down to the right hand side here. Under styles, you'll see style sheet, and it says style.css. Usually that's open by default. Once you're in there, scroll down to the bottom, and you're going to add into here exactly what I'm about to add in inside the flexibility theme. Okay, so let's go to flexibility theme now. So we've got a custom CSS code tab. Alright, remember, you might remember this from the Try Pro video. What we're going to do is we're going to click on that. Okay, so we're inside our text editor now. Now, what we want to do is remember that we had a UL tag inside our HTML. So we're going to go UL dot, and then you can just go Control V. How easy was that? Okay, article list checked. Okay, so it's got exactly the same CSS name, rule name, as it does in the HTML. Open a curly brace, hit enter twice, close the curly brace. Okay, if you hit the up arrow, you're right in the middle now. So here's where you're going to add your rule. So what you want to do is you want to go list-style-image colon space. Okay, this is a list style image rule. This is going to change what the image is for your lists. Any list that has article list checked will have this image in it. Okay, it needs to know where to find the image though. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in URL, so it knows that it's looking for a URL. Open a bracket. Then we want to go to our text document, and we want to copy that URL that we took before when we were in the library. Okay, you'll notice it as that. Okay, I'll just make this a bit longer for you so it's all in one line. Right, so you notice it's in this case iwc-demo2.net/wp-content/2011/11/yes.png. Alright, now all you need to do is close out the bracket and hit semicolon. And you're done, effectively. We're going to add one more style to that in a moment, but I'll show you that in a second. What I want you to see right now is if you come over to the test page now and press F5, you now have check marks in front of your list. Okay, pretty easy, isn't it? So what we're going to do here, we just want to add one more thing. We just want to add a bit of space, a bit of breathing room for it. Okay, so underneath that, we're going to add dot article list checked space li. Okay, now you'll notice there's no UL at the front. That's because we don't need it. Okay, this is inside the UL already, so we don't need that. If we put the UL in front of that, it'll probably still work, but it's not really necessary. Okay, now what we're going to do is we want to go, and we're also targeting the list item here, the list. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go open the brace, enter twice, close the brace. This is as we did before. The rule we're going to put into this one here is line-height. Okay, colon. This is going to create some space. Okay, so let's make it, say, 28 pixels. That's just a number I use on the other one. You can make it 25 if you want, if you don't want quite as much space. Let's do that actually, because these list items are these checks, the images I knew I'd get there eventually. The images are a bit smaller, so that's okay here. Alright, so we've got a line height of 25 pixels. Make sure you come up here and click Save Changes. Okay, once it stops hovering and doing its thing up there, let's come back to the test page, hit F5, and there's some space. Okay, so that's how you do a list with the check marks, or any other image. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can have any image you want. It doesn't have to be check marks. It can be crosses. It can be question marks. It can be just circles, but just circles that match your color scheme. I mean, you know, all sorts of things. But just make sure, like I said, that with your CSS rules, that it's semantic. It's something you understand. Okay. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, just ask in the Skype room, and I'm more than happy to answer and help you out. Yep. So have fun with it, and I hope you create some very stunning looking lists. Have a good one, guys. Thanks. Bye.